Go. You come on. It's going to start. I'll get it going. Good afternoon and welcome. Welcome indeed. Yes, to a Monday special live edition. Okay, we are streaming live. He had to fix the lighting. It's okay. It happens. So I will do this again. We are streaming live, yes, from the Anidjar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Take back control of your life. Call him today. Yes, it's Anidjar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. And joining me right now, who had to fix his light, yes, he's Alan Zlotorzynski with Brevard Sports Network. Alan, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing good. Sorry about the hue, man. I'm moving some things around. We're redoing the studio inside, so some things are being moved around. So I apologize.
Oh, so you're doing some construction right now. That's
We
okay.
are. That's why you got this orange glow up here.
Oh, okay. The orange glow. That's what we're calling it. Well, I have to put this on. This is very key right here. I don't know if you know this. Okay, I'm going to do this right here. All right. That's what we do. Because Team USA gets it done yesterday. And I want to say this about Alan. He's more of a night owl. He's usually not up early. He's not. But he didn't care. 8 a.m. with the with the puck drop. Alan was ready Sunday morning for some puck hockey. Were you ready for this yesterday, Alan?
Yeah, I did a semi-pro football game Saturday night and came home and I ate and I took about an hour and a half nap and then I stayed up the rest of the night just so I wouldn't sleep through the game.
So you didn't really sleep, huh? That's what happened.
I did not. And that's how I was able to. And then I had a media day yesterday for youth lacrosse. But yeah, I mean, that's how important that game was to me. I'm just one of those guys where this matters. I've watched every game for Team USA in the Olympics for both the men and the women. And I have been wanting this game back since Four Corners last year.
Oh, when they were fighting nonstop and Canada won.
Yeah, but I mean, even after that, I mean, that's USA won that game, that fight game, right? But we lost the championship. We don't do well with Canada. I can remember in 2010, Mark, when they were in Vancouver. And I was in Vegas at the time at a convention. And, we were watching in a casino. And it ruined my entire day to see Sidney Crosby score the golden goal.
I don't think I've ever seen them beat Canada before when it mattered. I mean, I'm not kidding around. When it really mattered. No. Dude, and I've told you. Okay, I've told you this. I was born in 1982. I wasn't even born yet when the Miracle on Ice happened in 1980. I've never seen us won the gold medal before. I've seen the women's team now a couple times. That was my first time yesterday ever seen. It's funny. I see Miracle with Kurt Russell all the time. So your brain starts thinking, oh, yeah, we win the gold medal. No, that's only the third time overall we've ever won. 60, 80, and now 26. Dude, it was awesome.
I think there's so much. I mean, the three times they've won this, in 1960 when they won it at Squaw Valley, the big story there was Herb Brooks, the coach of the 80 team, was the last guy cut on the 60 team. The last guy sent home was Herb Brooks. In 1980, of course, 99% of all Americans believe that game against Russia was the gold medal game. It wasn't. They still had to go beat Finland, which they did 4-2. And then, of course, this Olympics, it's a big deal. My brother texted me yesterday, and he asked me a very good question. He said, is this in any way tainted because the Russians aren't there? And I said, no, because the U.S. and the Canadian national teams are both right now significantly better than the Russian program is.
I agree. I agree with you 100%. Those are the two best teams in the tournament. they fought for gold yesterday. And I'd say the same thing about the women's final with Canada and USA. Those are the two best teams. All right, let's get to the actual game. USA scores first.
Mm-hmm.
And you texted me this, an unbelievable goal. Just one person, unbelievable. Yeah. What are your thoughts when the Americans go up 1-0 in that first period?
Well, I didn't really realize what Matt Baldy had done to score that goal. First of all, that was the Canadians' top defensive line. He splits their two top defenders, but it's how he splits them. And listen, I'm going to tell you something right now. Eddie Olczyk is phenomenal announcer. Eddie Olczyk is terrific. The way he explains how Baldy elevates that puck purposely past because he wasn't going to split them on the ice. If he leaves the puck on the ice, he does not split the defense. They knock the puck out of the way. Baldy lifts that puck up and kind of drives it ahead, knocks it back down with his own stick. I mean, that's a beautiful goal. I thought at that point that, this could be their day because Team Canada came out flying, man. They came out flying, and they flew for all 60 minutes. I mean, I still can't. I sit here looking at you. I still don't know how we won that hockey game.
I can't believe it either. And especially there was a breakaway by Connor McDavid, as they call McJesus up north. Yeah. And, dude, him in the open ice, if he has the breakaway, that is one of the scariest things if you are on defense. He is the best in the world. And then he didn't shoot it, really. He kept dancing with the puck, and then he didn't shoot it. And then the other one in the second period. And look, the goaltender for USA, just phenomenal. Canada is the best team with the best players on the planet. They have a 5-on-3 advantage and can't score. And I'm like, what is going on here? And I bet you that's what Canada's thinking. How are we not scoring more goals in this game?
That's when they didn't score on that 5-on-3. That's when I thought this is the United States' day. And when it got to overtime, I thought this is not what Canada wanted.
No.
This is, Canada should have scored twice on that 5-on-3. Two shots on goal during that 5-on-3 mark. That's incredible. Connor Hellebuyck yesterday, 42 saves. They had 43 shots to the United States' 28. That's incredible. Hellebuyck was just, he was magnificent. You mentioned on the Connor McDavid play, he actually forced the best hockey player in the world. He confused him as he was coming in because I think he expected Connor Hellebuyck to come a little further out. Hellebuyck didn't do it. McDavid kept holding the puck. He kept holding the puck, and it was too late. By the time he realized that Hellebuyck wasn't coming out, you're right. He didn't get off a shot.
It was wild. And then Hellebuyck, what was it? There's the shot, and I know I'm like I sent it to you. I was sending it to multiple people where, let me make sure I get this right so you can see it on the screen because I sent it to you. This, and what do they joke? Hang it in the Louvre. All right. This is where Taves, point blank, all you got to do is just elevate the puck a little. He shuts him down.
That immediately took me back to 2018, and I know nobody in this conversation is ever going to remember this, but in 2018 in the Stanley Cup Finals, the Capitals and the Vegas Golden Knights were playing, and Vegas had won the first game, and they were going to win the second. It looked like they were pressuring to take the lead in the second game. The Capitals scored. They took a 1-goal lead, and then late in the game, a play like that was made, and Braden Holtby laid across, stuck his stick out, and made what, to me, is the greatest save in the history of the Stanley Cup Finals. I love that picture, but I actually have that Braden Holtby picture hanging up.
So what's funny about this guy in net for Team USA, he plays in Winnipeg. Yeah. So we don't really hear about him very often in this country, which is kind of sad. But he is, 3 times been named goalie of the year.
3-time Vezina Trophy winner. He won the MVP of the league last year.
So finally, this is a slap in the face to Winnipeg. If you could just get him some players around him, anyone who can score goals, you're going to win. He's the best goalie in the world, and Canada found out yesterday. Just wild, wild. But I'll say this to you, buddy. When Canada scored late in the second period to go 1-1, my brain's thinking, well, Canada's going to win now. That's what I thought. Like, okay, they opened it up. They finally got one in, and they're going to shoot 50 more times in this game. And we've seen this 100 times already where Canada's going to figure it out. And then they didn't score again. That's what's so shocking to me.
A lot of similarities in this game yesterday and the game that the United States won 4-3 in 1980 against the Russians. You know, they don't win that game without Jimmy Craig. I mean, Jimmy Craig's the guy that kept them in. I mean, Jim Craig made save after save after save after save after save in that game. And so, yeah, listen, you know, what do I tell you when we talk Stanley Cup finals, right? Or Stanley Cup playoffs? I always tell you two things. I always say, if the other team has a goaltender that's on fire, I don't care how good the other team is. You know, a goaltender is going to change the balance of any game, and Connor Hellebuyck did that.
You're absolutely right. Again, 5-on-3 power play. And this is not like, okay, it's the Washington Capitals, it's the Rangers. No. This is an all-time team of killers on Canada, and they could not score. No. It was the greatest slap in the face to them. You couldn't get one goal. So then, all right, so late in the third period, our guy, Jack Hughes, who was born in Orlando, Florida, because his dad coached the Solar Bears. His mom, you got to watch these videos on the mother, because she was an all-time athlete. Hockey, lacrosse, soccer, I mean, all-time athlete. She birthed 3 boys who all play in the NHL. Yeah. You can't make up this. It's insane. So he gets the teeth chipped in the third period.
Chiclets knocked out.
Oh, man. And it was like, just, you know, it's funny when you watch the play, it's just a high stick. It's like, it doesn't look, you don't think his teeth are going to not, and just bang. And he's on the floor bleeding, dude. And he kept going. He kept going in this game. Oh, man. Dude,
well,
when I get that toothache.
Look, I say this all the time. That's the difference. I mean, hockey players are at that level are a unique breed, Mark. I mean, they just are. I mean, is there another sport where a guy gets his 2 front teeth knocked out or broken like that where he continues to play? Does he do it in baseball? Do they in football? No. In football, you're coming out because you're going under the tent for concussion protocol. Right? I mean, it's the truth. In soccer, are you kidding me? That's a red card and a riot.
Oh, man. He got, you know what's funny? So there was a 4-minute penalty on that play. Then Jack Hughes gets a penalty. So Canada gets back on the power play, can't score. And then, dude, the play, okay, not only does he score the game-winning goal, his he kind of poked at the puck to set up his teammate to start the 3-on-1. Mm-hmm. Dude, the whole thing is just magical.
What the mistake made on that play was made by Team Canada. Cal McCarr, who's one of the best defensemen in the world, okay? Cal McCarr overcommits. He just overcommitted. And when he did, it gave the U.S. a 3-on-1.
And they do it. So my question for you is, because I don't like the 3-on-3. I think it should have been full strength, but that's just my opinion. What do you think of the 3-on-3 overtime for hockey?
It's not a true representation of the game. I don't like it. You know, I don't like it. I don't think that, you know, I don't know why it's necessary to play it. You know, but listen, it's the rules, right? No, yeah, because I don't think anybody's going to say, I don't think anybody, you know, nobody's going to remember it was 3-on-3. They're just going to remember the United States won in overtime.
Yeah, because you used to have the full overtime, and then it would go to a penalty shootout to win the championship. And that happened.
Yeah, watch Dominic Hasek make a save in the shootout. That was beautiful. I think the stat of the tournament for the United States is that they finished 18 for 18 on the penalty kill. They didn't give up a power play goal.
That's amazing. They didn't lose a game either. Dude, that is a wild stat. And what's funny was, so they're in the semifinal, and who they play? Slovakia on Friday, and they win 6-2, and it could have been worse. And I'm like, I don't care if they win 18-2. The Canadians still scare me. Yeah. And they did. And they dominated that game. And I give credit. Look, John Cooper was great as the coach of Canada, but they just fell short.
No, listen, Coop, that's the other reason I was sitting there kind of kidding myself. And I know Coop's won a couple Stanley Cups with the Lightning, but I always kid myself, and I always say they'll blow it. John Cooper's their coach. He can't win the big one.
Now that please hold back your opinion. Please, tell us how you really feel.
Right? He can't win the big one.
Dude, so that game's going on. And in that first period, I text Alan. I go, all right, when are we going to the Rockledge Iceplex? I'm ready. I'm ready. It's like it woke something up in my head. I was like, all right, I'm ready. I'm all in.
Go up there. We have to go up there one night on a Saturday night coming up. They're getting ready to come back from holiday break. Florida Tech's hockey team plays up there. And it's a club sport, and they play like the University of Florida, Florida State. It's all club sports, right? But they play at 11 o'clock on a Saturday night. And all these, all the students from Florida Tech come and they bring their bags in, if you know what I mean, right? They sit up in the stands. And, man, it is a lot of fun to go to.
All right, we're going to go to this. This sounds like fun. Okay, and I'm just going to say this to you. All the craziness going on in the world and constantly news trying to drive us crazy every 5 minutes. That was awesome yesterday. Finally, something positive, something like we can rally around. It was awesome. And I think in 1980, because it feels like that's what they were going through. There's just all this negative. So it's like just for once, finally something positive. And I love what Jack Hughes said after the game. Hey, I love playing for my country. I love my country. I love my teammates. I love playing for U.S. hockey. He said all the right things afterwards. It was
what it meant to guys like Jack Hughes, Matt Baldy, the Kachucks.
Oh, the Kachucks are awesome.
The Kachucks, right? What it meant to them. I can remember Kachuk sitting at the presser in the Four Corners, and when he asked them about the fights, he said, you know what? They booed our national anthem. F those maple syrup drinking Fs. Right?
They showed the photo, him and his brother. And dude, that must, because you talked about how your brother texted you. I have a brother. The fact that you are out there with your brother at the Olympics, that's got to be once in a lifetime. Because you know this, you grow up, you're little kids, you go out in the neighborhood, if you're playing baseball, basketball, does it hockey, and it's football, and you're with your brother. It's always going to be your brother. And there's got to be that moment where you're out there and you're like, hey, I'm passing the puck to my brother. I mean, it's going to be awesome.
If you became a hockey, I'll leave the hockey. We can move on if you want. But if you became a hockey fan because of this tournament and you want to know more about the culture of hockey, I recommend the show on Hulu called Shoresy.
Okay. I've not seen this. Is it good?
Mark, it is by far one of the funniest, unbelievable. It's as close as you're going to get to the game of hockey in a sitcom that you're ever going to see. And they just cut loose season 5. So there's 5 seasons of it. It's called Shoresy. And let me tell you, they don't hold anything back.
Brett hit us up. Don't forget about the women one too. Don't worry, Brett. I know. I watched that as well. And, my mom said it best. She's like, look, those ladies make no money. At least in the men's game, those are millionaires who play NHL hockey. Those women really do it for the love of the sport and for their country. And I told you that story last week where my mom's at the Olympics and a fellow American asked her and my dad, all right, what sport you going to right now? And she said women's hockey. And this jackass told my mom, oh, why aren't you going to a real sport? That is a real sport. Okay. I don't understand. I don't get this. You are flying all the way to Italy to the Olympics. You love America. You're here to cheer on the Americans, but you're such a chauvinist pig. You're not going to cheer for the women?
Look,
what are you talking about?
The women in this Olympic Games was the most dominant hockey team I've seen play.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I was actually afraid for them because for the same reasons that I thought it was going to be the Americans' day, the American Men's Day yesterday, when the Canadians took the women to overtime on Friday, I feared that a fluke goal would cost this women's team one of the best tournaments I've ever seen. And God bless Megan Keller. That was an absolutely sick ass move she made to win the gold. You want to talk about a you want to talk about the golden goal? The Megan Keller scored it. And then to be able to score with 1:40 to go with a sixth attacker on, I jumped out of my chair, man.
Yeah, it was awesome. It really was. Okay, but more nonsense of yesterday. Okay, so I'm going to go over this with you. This is for the pop culture reference of what happened yesterday. So, pop singer Tate McRae, if you know who this is, I see her as a Paul Abdul type character. So she's from Canada. She got in hot water because NBC Sports, I like Alan's typing her in right now.
I want to see who's, okay, I'm looking at her.
Yeah, you have no problem with her. So she's Canadian pop singer. She got in trouble with her country because she did promos on NBC like, hey, the Olympics are on NBC. Check out all these great American athletes.
She's also linked to Jack Hughes.
Yes. So here's what's interesting. So all the songs you hear on the radio about her dissing some guy who cheated on her, she was dating some Canadian hockey player. We won't say his name. So it's about him being a dog and cheating on her. So what does she do to get back at him? She starts allegedly dating Jack Hughes of the New Jersey Devils. So not only does she get back at him, she starts dating the guy that beats Canada in the gold medal game.
So all right, enough of this. We won't say his name. Who is it? Come on, man. I got to know.
I can't say it. I'm laughing.
It doesn't matter. Because I want to watch when the Devils play this team.
Oh, man. Could you imagine this? This is fantastic. So my question for you is, now she's dating the enemy that broke the heart of the whole country. Can this Tate McRae woman, can she go back to Canada? I say no. I think it's over.
Probably not for a while, man.
No, because he's scoring on the goal and he's scoring with their first lady.
Look, I don't know, but last night, I feel bad saying this, but
what?
I watched as many miserable fan videos as I could from Canada. Oh, of course I did. Because they always look, they get on my Facebook page, third, fourth corners. They were all over my Facebook page telling me to do this, that, and the other, right? So fair games turnabout, right? So I jumped on YouTube and watched their misery when Jack Hughes scored that goal.
Did you see the one? Did the guy take out the chainsaw to the television? I swear I saw it.
I watched 2 hours of it. I absolutely loved it.
Oh, man. It was fantastic. And then the Canadians are coming out and they're crying. Well, we were the better team. We played better. Look at the scoreboard, jackass. You lost.
Oh, well, when you go to the pawn shop, right, and you walk in, one guy's got the gold one, the other guy's got the silver one, right? Which one's worth more money?
Yeah, so we were joking about this off air. So they're flying back. I think they landed at Miami Airport. So the men's and women's team. So they're going to be partying this afternoon into about 5 a.m. They're going to be on South Beach partying it up. They are kind of like what the Panthers did when they won last June.
I don't think the NHL starts till Wednesday, so they got a day.
That game yesterday was so big for the NHL in this country. It's so big because it shows you new stars. It shows that this can be fun, and it's pro-America. I think this is okay. I'm not going to say, oh, it'll be better in the NFL. No. I think this really helps the sport at the NHL.
Listen, Mark, I don't. That's my biggest problem with the National Hockey League is
What?
I like Gary Bettman. I think he's been good for the league. Not always, okay?
Yeah.
But the one thing the NHL has always been just horrific at is anything beyond Ovechkin and Crosby. They've been terrible at marketing their young stars.
Well, this is the time. Look.
Well, now is the time. You're 100%
yes.
right. You know, I mean, and I think another issue, I think, you know, it's crazy to me that you look at the standings right now. The Lightning lead the Eastern Conference. The Carolina or the Atlantic Division. The Carolina Hurricanes lead the Metropolitan. You got a team from Florida, a team from North Carolina, right? You got Colorado that leads the Western Conference and Vegas in the Pacific, right? So you haven't had a Canadian team win a Stanley Cup since 1993 when Patrick Waugh hoisted it. I'd like to see the NHL do some different marketing and promote these guys a little better.
I agree with you. Look, Connor McDavid is the best player. I'll keep saying this. And we were laughing. You texted me. He won MVP.
Sure he did. Tournament. Just like he did 2 years ago when right. He won Stanley, on the losing team, and he wins the MVP against Florida. Should have went to hell, you buck.
You're damn right.
Just for that one game. I don't care.
I liked also, so his goalie helmet. I sent this to our friend Damon with Spacefish. His goalie helmet had a big bass on it. I thought that was bad. That was badass, man. What would you have on your goalie helmet? What would it be?
I would probably have, I guess if you were going to link something to me, you know, I don't know. Probably an American flag, a bald eagle, something cool. I mean, I don't know.
I just love, again, big bass fish on the site. Because when you're thinking of like how to really scare people, I think of bass fishing. That's right. So dude, he was so locked in yesterday. And I'm happy you brought up Dominik Hasek, the Dominator, because I remember I was in high school the first time they ever had the NHL players in the Olympics. And everyone was thinking, oh, it'd be Canada, Russia, America. No, the Czech Republic. Because of him, they went crazy and won the gold medal. Dude, I love it. And I think about, you brought this up, 2010, I was so sad when stupid Sidney Crosby scored that goal in overtime. I was so angry.
Ruined my whole day in Vegas.
It was the worst. And it's just crazy. We're finally won that gold medal. And I personally, I love the 1980s Olympic team. When I do speeches in front of college and high school students, I constantly bring up sayings that Herb Brooks brings up in his career. As you've heard me say, the legs feed the wolves. I love that statement. I think about it all the time. And I constantly would tell people, it's the only time we've ever it's the last time we won. We've only won it twice, and it's been 46 years. And now that's over.
I don't know who won the World Juniors this year. USA Hockey's in a very good place.
Yeah.
I know the USA won World Juniors last year. I don't know who won it this year. I'd have to look. But I think they won it the year before. But yeah, Herb Brooks is great. Herbieisms, as the guys refer to them. My favorite Herb line is not the speech he gave, which everybody heard the last couple of days. Not the speech he gave before the Soviet game, which was very inspiring. My favorite speech he gave was the speech before the Finland game, which was very simple. They had already beaten the Soviets. The country was going crazy. And he walked in the locker room and he looked at every one of them and he said, you know what? Great win Friday night. But if you lose this game today, you'll take it to your grave. You'll take it to your effing grave. And he turned around and he walked out. And they thought about it for a minute. Michael Ruzioni tells the story where he says he's right. Because if they don't beat Finland, then that win over the Soviet Union means nothing.
I agree. Yeah, it's a great. What was the comment yesterday, the pregame? It was like, all right, play your game, American swagger. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, that's cool.
I like that as well. That was good. So again, this happened. I'm very happy. And I'm just going to make one more point to you. And I think I said this to Nicole like 2 weeks ago when we previewed the Olympics. And you don't have to answer this. I'm just going to say this. I have a new rule to every journalist out there. Stop asking dumb celebrities and athletes their political opinions on anything. I don't give a damn. They don't know what they're going to talk about, right? If this is what I always say to because I'm a journalist. I ask questions. You ask questions. If you have a political question you want to ask, go ask your local or state politicians. Go ask them. Stop asking athletes, especially at the Olympics. They can't win. Whatever they answer, you're going to do a gotcha and you're going to destroy them. That's why, dude, if I was an athlete at the Olympics, I'd be like, look, I'm here to represent my country. I love my country. I respect all my opponents. Please do not ask me that, and let's rock and roll. And I would stop asking questions.
I didn't watch the press conference yesterday afterwards, but I thought about that going in. You got to be careful when you're talking to hockey players about things like that, because hockey players, go watch Shorzy. Hockey players will tell you exactly what they think, and you may not want to. You may not want to hear their answer.
No, you don't. And it appears you're on the take for this show because you keep promoting it. So now I really have to watch it.
You're going to have to. I'm telling you, Shorzy is the best.
Dude. I'm so happy we got to share that yesterday. And we were texting. I was texting all these different people. And I'm happy we got to do this today. Do you have any sports you're covering tonight then for Brevard Sports Network?
Yeah, I got a great baseball game tonight between Vieira and Rockledge. Check it out. It'll be cold. So while you all are sitting at home watching it in the friendly confines of your home, I'll be freezing my dupa off out at, there you go, buddy.
What time is first pitch, buddy?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. Do you go 7 or 9 innings?
7.
7. And with the weather, is it going to be one of those things like, all right, come on, no pitching meetings. Let's go. Keep it going, buddy.
We got 2 veteran managers out there. They know better.
All right, let's go to the clock, buddy. Let's go. You know what'll happen? This happens at every level of baseball. When it's 30, 40 degrees, this is when the strike zone gets a little bigger. Okay, when it's that cold weather.
I am advocating for the pitch clock in high school baseball. They have it in college. They have it in Major League Baseball. It's time.
They should.
It's time to get it in high school.
Oh, man, that's going to be great. Check that out, Brevard Sports Network. Alan, thank you so much for coming on. Go Team USA, and I'll talk to you later, all right?
USA. Thanks, buddy.